Hi, I'm attachment specialist Adam Lane Smith, and today I want to talk to you about which friends are really good for you. Because it's good to have friends. It's good to have a few friends. But you need to figure out which ones are best for you. To do that, I need to ask you, what's your goal? What's your goal in life? Is your goal to make $10 million? Is your goal to open a nonprofit? Is your goal to be a stay-at-home parent and raise 10 kids to adulthood? Is your goal to become the ultimate sumo wrestler? What's your goal? Because the answer to that determines a lot about the friends you're going to need. My advice is, number one, find the people who share that goal. The best friends in your life are going to be the ones who share a similar goal, or at least something that segues nicely with your goal. Now, if you want to be the best sumo wrestler on earth, you probably also want to have fairly good health around that. And you probably want to have a healthy family life. And all of that segues nicely with someone else who wants to have a healthy family life and a healthy community. Cool. Okay, you don't have to be best friends only with sumo wrestlers. Share the deeper goals that you have. If you can also share some of those bigger goals, that's icing on the cake. But make sure the deeper, more fundamental goals about daily life are in place. Two people who want to have healthy families, and I can agree on what a healthy family looks like, can then support each other even if they have wildly different goals. I, for example, am building this whole attachment brand, and I love writing. I love writing novels. It's one of my big passions. One of my best friends is just now, at almost 40 years old, getting into boxing and just wants to fight. And even if he loses, he wants to get into it. I've done martial arts most of my life. I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that drive to physically achieve. I'm not out to be a boxing champ. He's out to be a boxing champ. I'm out to write great action novels that entertain people, that encourage people, that maybe even teach a little bit about attachment along the way. He's not out to do that. Can we support each other's goals? Yes, because we both want to raise healthy families. We agree on what that means. We're both married men. We both have kids, quite a few of them, each one of us. He has way more than I do. We both want a healthy marriage. We both want a healthy family life, so we can encourage each other there. And then we at least can understand each other's more specific personal goals. So we can encourage each other and root for each other. Me while I'm writing, him while he's beating the crap out of someone. Or getting the crap beat out of him in a ring. We can encourage each other. I can publish a book. He can be right there blasting about it and cheering about it. I can be ringside, encouraging him while he's fighting. We can share that because our deeper, more fundamental goals are met. So bonding over goals, really crucial. Number two, which are the best friends? The ones you respect. The ones who have principles. The ones you can trust because they base their actions on principles instead of basing their actions on fears, on relieving their fears, on benefiting themselves. They base their actions on what is important to me. What's important to us both? Shared mutual principles of total honesty, compassion, courage, honor, loyalty, integrity, shared mutual values, principles, crucial for a friendship. And the more shared principles you have in common, and the less common they are in your society, the better they are for the friendship. So you have shared goals. Now you also have shared principles for how you wish to achieve those goals, or it all means nothing. And you've watched them live them out, and they've watched you live them out. And when one of you slips, the other one can say, hey, this isn't going to what we both believe is important. And they can say, you're right. Because those shared mutual values are truly important for each one of you. Now, number three is an important point I just brought up. They're reasonable. And they're reasonable especially when they fall short. They can take criticism. They can take painful feedback. And they act on it in a good way to fix the problem. Reasonable people you can talk with, that you can solve problems together. It's not one problem and everything explodes and now it's hopeless. They can make it work. That way you can solve problems together. It's not all about everybody being perfect for life. You know that you can calm down and relax even if there's a problem because you can solve it together. You can have a reasonable human discussion and solve it. And number 4, they should challenge you a little bit. Now, in some cases, for men, maybe, in my stage of life, in 30s and 20s, 30s, 40s, they might be people who are above you in some social status, who are stronger than you in some way, who've achieved something you have yet to achieve. Guys who make you feel a little bit of pressure to get better. If you hang around with nothing but heroin addicts, suddenly it will feel like no big deal if you do heroin. If you hang around with nothing but fitness nuts who hate heroin, you don't want to be the one dude in your group who uses heroin. Peer pressure exists. Now, it can drag you downward or it can drag you up. So getting in connection with people who do something you admire is really important. It's really important to be able to admire the people in your circle and feel some good peer pressure to perform, to be better. Not to keep up with them, maybe a little, but to really better yourself. To be someone that you want to be and to feel pressure to then accomplish that. Because your goals and your principles and taking correction, all of those are modeled for you in your social circles, and you don't want to be the worst at any of those 3 things, at goals, at principles, or at setting your ego aside. You don't want to be the most arrogant, you don't want to be the least accomplishing, and you don't want to be the most unprincipled. So in those 3 areas, you should be finding people who are better than you in one of those 3 areas. 2 of them, maybe. 3 of them, you might be a little too intimidated. But 2 of them, 1 of them, you don't want to be the best person in your social circles because then you'll stop. Then you'll get complacent. So friends who challenge you in a good way, in a healthy competition. Friends who challenge you to be more. At least friends who keep you accountable. Who put on the pressure to be good. Maybe if you are deeply religious, you find people who are even more religious, and that pressure pushes you to dive further into your faith. There's a lot of things here, but those 4 points, are crucial to keep in mind. Find people with similar goals, foundational goals. Secondary goals, cool, but foundational goals. Find people with shared mutual values so that they want to reach those goals in healthy, respectful ways. Find people who take correction from you and who self-correct in a good, healthy way so that you can solve problems together. So you build a healthy, self-correcting system together instead of spiraling off when there's a problem. That means stability. And number 4, people who challenge you, who make you want to be better. These 4 pieces are crucial for building a good friend network and for identifying who you should draw closer to as you fix attachment, as you boost attachment, as you take the next steps in your life. This is what the most successful people do, is these 4 pieces. This is how they pull people into their orbit. These 4 pieces is what they determine who is worth their time. And as you ruthlessly cut through your social groups and cut out the people who do none of these 4 things, cut out the people who are opposite in all 4 ways, you'll improve your quality of life too. Thank you for watching. I'm Adam Lane Smith. If this has been helpful, please like, comment, subscribe, and get out there and find those friends with these 4 good qualities. You'll be glad that you did.